We're on the LiveComm dashboard, and we're in the Manage Your Account section. We're dealing with the first red button called Manage Phone Numbers. Now, at this point in the conversation, we've already managed our lists and we've already named our lists here. This is where you name your lists. So when your phone numbers first show up, they show up as new number 1, new number 2, number 3. This one happens to be new number 7. If we want to change that and name that list, you know, house buyers or 123 Main Street callers or whatever you want to name it, this is where you do it and you save. So in this section, when we first get here to manage your phone numbers, we've already named the lists. And again, you name those lists in the Manage Your List section. So we'll go here to manage the phone numbers. All the lists have names now. These are the phone numbers. These are the names on the list. If you want to edit these phone numbers, so let's go down here to test number 7, and I want to edit this one. Click here on Edit. This is the list that we're going to edit. This is the phone number that is attached to this list. This is where we forwarded the phones to any of our salespeople or whoever we want to forward these calls to. Now you can forward these calls to one person, or you can forward this phone number to multiple people, to multiple phones. I actually have 4 salespeople, and when I'm really pushing to sell a house, I let all my salespeople know that we're running this special or that special in that house, and that each one of them are going to be, their phone is going to ring anytime we have an interested customer. And whoever picks up the phone first is the person who gets that lead. They all know that. Now, to enter a phone number, you just put it in just like this. You may add multiple phone numbers by separating each by a comma. Example. And so you just put in your phone number with no spaces, no dots, no dashes, and then if you want to add additional phone numbers for it to ring on, you just put a comma and then no spaces and add a second number. If you want to add a third number, put a comma and type in that third number. But it should look like this right here. Do you want a hello message? Yes or no? This is very unique. If you don't want a hello message, of course, you click no, but if you want a hello message, you click yes. And if the LiveComm system recognizes an incoming caller as pristine, and when I say pristine, I mean it's a caller who has never called you before, then if you click yes, this caller is automatically going to get a text message from you when he hangs up. And my message says right now, thank you for calling homes2go.net. Please take note of my contact information, Mitch Stephen, homes2go.net, 210-669-4020. And so, you know, this is the message that I choose to deliver to these people when they're pristine. It's a way of saying hello and getting into their contacts. So again, if you don't want to have a message sent to your callers automatically, a hello message one time when they're new, then click no. If you want there to be a message, you click yes, and you type your message right here in this area, and this is the message that will automatically be texted to your new customer. The next section is voicemail setup. And so every single one of the phone numbers is tied to a voicemail box. You can leave any kind of message you want. This particular phone number right now, if you choose to go to text to speech, this is what the computer voice will read. This home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and has 2 living areas and a large kitchen. You know, it'll read it in that computer text. Something about that computer text you may want to take note of. When you put in things like your website, homes2go.net, you're going to want to spell it out. My web address is homes2go.net, but I have to spell it out like a computer would read it phonetically. Homes2go.net. If you put in a phone number, you would have to spell it out. 2, 1, 0, and then I'm going to put a dot for a space. So it's like we always read our numbers 210, 669, 4020. That's how we say them in the English, I don't know, phonetically. So you'd go 210 dot for pause, 669 dot for pause, 4020. And so so the computer will read it. Let's see. 210 669 4020. You want to put parentheses or commas for pauses. You notice here I said this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and has a living area, and it was built in 1969. I spelled it out, 1969. Okay, so just be aware of how the computer reads. Now, if you want to do a voice recording of your own voice, then you would go here. It says this will be played when a user calls your LiveComm phone number. So we click on record. Now, there's the instructions right here. You must click allow when your browser asks to use your microphone. In this case, I'm using Google Chrome. I've got to click allow right here. And so now it's taken over my my microphone. And then when you're ready to speak, you click record. When you are finished, you click stop record. Then you'll wait for a while for the recording to process. And then the audio player will appear and allow you to review the recording. And if you wish to try again, repeat steps 2 through 4 as desired. If you are satisfied, click save to assign this recording to that particular LiveComm phone number. If you don't wish to change your voicemail, click cancel or the X in the upper right hand corner. So let's go ahead and do a recording. Thank you for calling about the house at 123 Main Street. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home built in 1969. Has a large kitchen, 2 living areas, yada yada yada, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. And if you'd like to buy a house from homes2go.net, drive to 123 Main Street, get out of your vehicle, walk around the house, look through the windows, check out the neighborhood, and if you think this is the house for you and your family, and you have a substantial down payment of $7,000 or more, call the phone number that's in the front window. That phone number will get you in contact with our offices. It will get you an appointment to see the inside of the house, and we will describe the exact details of how this can be your new home in a very short period of time. Thank you for calling homes2go.net. And that's an example of exactly what I do. I generate hundreds of phone calls per day when I'm very aggressive. I don't have the time to answer all those calls, so I let the recording do the work for me. And I only get calls, about 6 or 7 calls a day, from the serious people who can follow directions and who have gone out and have already seen the house in the neighborhood and looked through the windows. This is a highly qualified lead. This is how I started out using LiveComm, was for this very reason right here. How to handle hundreds of phone calls a day and cull through them and get just the cream of the crop prospects. So right now, this recording is being processed and converted to an MP3. We're waiting on that process. And when that process is done, we'll click save. And when anyone calls this particular LiveComm number and I have the voice recording checked, then this is the recording they're going to get. Remember, this processing of this recording may take a little bit of time. So don't give up on it. The longer your recording is, the more time it might take. Click Save when it's finished processing. That concludes our tutorial on managed phone numbers.